Hello, and welcome to another video, and today we're going to be talking about books. What are books? Well, books are, a way to read things. That is a horrible explanation. Throughout history, humans have been special, and one thing that makes us special is our ability to communicate knowledge. Now, obviously, a lot of animals can communicate knowledge to some degree. For example, when wolves talk to each other in packs, generally communicative animals exist. However, our ability to pass down innovations and other sorts of knowledge in a way that we can build on each other, right? One of the reasons you don't really hear about giraffe history is that giraffes, a giraffe now and a giraffe 100 years ago would be living more or less the same, and any changes would have been resulting probably from changes that we have caused, or vast, climate changes, or habitat changes. So why do humans have history? And one of those reasons is because we've been able to pass down knowledge, right? A caveman, 200 years ago, you wouldn't really distinguish much from other animals. Why? Because they just kind of, they do their own thing. But the difference is that, when one caveman's like, I like this cave, it's safer, they go there, and then from that cave, they're like, what if we made a door? And then they keep on building, and they expand their knowledge. And one of the main ways that we are able to communicate this is not just through our language that we have, carefully constructed, but it's the ways that we can retain this language so that you don't necessarily need two humans to interact with each other. And we've seen this through written language. Written language, has been, through many different stages, from hieroglyphics, to basic languages, and all of these alphabets evolve, right? And so from tablets to scrolls, manuscripts, all of these different forms of writing and literature, these have all really evolved into one main type of written physical literature, which is the book. A book can contain many things. It can contain instructions, information. It can contain history, fiction. It can be a religious text. It can be other stuff. You can use it to keep track of math, many things. A series of literature, right? You can have poems inside books, volumes, things to keep things. And books can be used for a lot of different things. Books have been some of the most influential things ever, right? There are many books that we all know, in our current day-to-day life. There are books such as, Harry Potter, which affect, pop culture and the culture of the society we live in. There are books that can be converted into more modern and current, different forms or mediums of communication. For example, television. There are books for the Game of Thrones series. There was the, Song of Ice and Fire, I think it was called. And generally, you can also have non-fictional books, right? History books, right? That can help us understand what has happened before or help us keep track. Treaties, that's not really a book, that's just a form of written language. But you can also have, for example, the Bible or the Quran or the Bhagavad Gita or the Torah. All of these religious texts that have had a very large effect on society and growing and expansion and how people conduct themselves. They're the classics that people use as like a standard for literature. And on top of that, literature is a great way, to see back into what life would have been like before, right? You don't just need a history book to understand history, but you can read a fiction book that may have been written by a prominent author of the time, or even not a prominent author. You can read the poems that were written, the books of poems that were written by soldiers in World War I, are some of the best insights into actual soldier life in the trenches. Books, they show so much, and if you enjoyed this, make sure to subscribe. Goodbye. I'm joking. That was a weird exit. Alright, goodbye now. That is actually the exit.